Today's 5-minute movie review covers the 2022 horror film Smile. Smile is written and directed by Parker Finn and stars Sosie Bacon as Dr. Rose Cotter, Jesse T. Usher as Rose's boyfriend Trevor, and Kyle Gallner as Rose's ex, Joel. As the film begins, we see Dr. Rose Cotter, who is portrayed by Sosie Bacon, as a burnt-out and compassionate psychiatrist. At the end of an extraordinarily long shift, Dr. Rose encounters her final patient for the day, a woman by the name of Laura Weaver. Now, patient Laura reports in a very agitated state. When she meets with Dr. Rose, Laura's in a very, very upset state of mind. And Laura keeps telling Rose that she sees something. She sees something that no one else can see. And when pressed to explain further, patient Laura says that this thing, whatever it is, oftentimes comes in the appearance of people that she knows, even people who have passed away. And what's worse is whoever this entity comes disguised as, it's always smiling. And the smile is a very creepy, almost evil-looking grin. Then suddenly, the next moment, Laura says she sees the entity, falls out of her chair, runs backwards, and eventually slumps down on the floor, seemingly in a paralyzed state. When Rose runs to go to the phone to call for help, she then turns around. Laura is no longer on the floor. She's up on her feet with the most wicked smile you can imagine. And much to Rose's chagrin, Laura then kills herself right in front of Rose. And from that point on, we see the movie Smile as an almost documentary of Rose's life, which spins out of control over the next several days. And with each passing day, things continue to get worse for Rose as whatever entity was plaguing the former patient Laura has seemingly attached itself to Rose. And we see Dr. Rose's attempts to figure out what's going on and also to get this entity away from her. Now, Smile is what I consider to be a classic American horror story. And it combines several elements of what you would expect from a great horror movie. Excellent writing, wonderful acting, solid pacing, and several interesting twists and turns. I can honestly say that from the moment I started watching, I was glued to this movie. And at various points in the film, I was on the edge of my seat. From beginning until end, it is a non-stop thrill ride. Now, in addition to the very strong writing and directing from Parker Finn, we also have the lead role of Dr. Rose, wonderfully portrayed by Sosie Bacon. The character of Dr. Rose is extremely complex, and as the movie unfolds, you see that this individual has experienced great trauma in her life. It's this trauma, of course, that spurs her to become a psychiatrist, to help other people, seemingly because she cannot help herself. And this trauma is also a connection point to the entity that has attached itself to her. And so the question becomes, can Rose figure out a way to disengage from this entity before it's too late? An additional character that I think does an outstanding job in this film is Holly, Rose's sister Holly, portrayed by Jillian Zenzer. The Holly character is a lot of fun to watch because she's almost the exact opposite of Rose. Holly is bougie, she's snobbish and stuck up, and a bit of a control freak. She controls every aspect of her life, especially her wimpy husband, Greg. Also, a lot of credit to Caitlin Stasey, who portrays patient Laura, probably the creepiest smile in the whole movie. Now, as far as the storytelling goes, I found Smile to be a very intense movie and what I would consider to be disturbing, but in a good way. If you watch horror movies in general, you'll know that over time, there's two types of disturbing. There's bad disturbing, where you're like, oh, I wish I hadn't watched that. and there's good disturbing that really kind of draws you even further into the story. Smile, in my opinion, is good disturbing. The scenes in the movie, while some of them are very graphic and intense, tend to draw you deeper into the story, and that's exactly what you want as a writer. If you like horror films, if you like films that have some jump scares and are truly scary and a little bit disturbing, you will certainly love the movie Smile. I rate it 4.5 stars out of 5. This is Kevin saying God bless each and every one of you. I'll talk to you later.